Hello, friends! I'm here to talk to you about a program called Ready, Set, Remember. Here's the book, Ready, Set, Remember by Jerry Lucas. And this is a book, it's been around for a long time. My mom actually used it with me when I was homeschooling, and it's how we memorized our states and capitals and the presidents of the United States. And I've been using it with my son, who's 10 years old. I've been using it for the past couple of years. And it's a really cool idea behind memorizing things with the multiplication tables, with the presidents, with the states and capitals, all using a memory device. Back a long, long time ago, there started to have some research published about the memory palace. And when I started reading about this method, it made me think of the Sherlock Holmes series and how Sherlock Holmes would use a memory palace as he would store information. And this is basically the same type of thing. Instead of just memorizing facts like with flashcards, everything is given to you in a picture. And that visual picture imprints on your mind so that you can have this information stored in your brain and you won't forget it because you'll have the picture that you can recall. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the multiplication facts, and a conversation came up in one of our homeschool groups about memorizing your multiplication tables. And I know that it can be very difficult for students to have the multiplication tables memorized. I think in public school, I'm not sure if they have to have it in 3rd or 4th grade, but it's definitely elementary school. They need to have their multiplication tables memorized before they go into division, and especially in middle school. I know middle school math teachers get frustrated when their students come to them not knowing these foundational principles, most specifically multiplication. So the way that Ready, Set, Remember approaches multiplication is through pictures. And I'm going to show you some of the pictures, but I think the best thing for me to do is to just talk through it and describe it. It's a very complicated system. When I tell my friends about it or ask Christian, my son, to describe some of the problems, like for example, he likes to tease his daddy and say, "Daddy, do you know what shoe times cow is?" And it doesn't make any sense when you have a kid ask you, "What exactly are you talking about?" The association that numbers are given are with consonant sounds. There will be no vowel sounds in the numbers. They have a whole section on introducing this phonetic alphabet with the students. This is going to take the most time to really go over and understand how each number, 1 through 9, is associated with a sound. And they give you some memory aids, which are very helpful. I'm just going to go through them quickly. If this is a system that you think your student will benefit from, definitely get the book and dive into it. The number 1 is represented by sounds that make the T or D sound. So if you have a word, which I'll get to later, that has a T sound or a D sound, that's for the number 1. The number 2 is an N sound. Number 3 is M. Number 4 is R. Number 5 is L. Number 6 can be either the sh, the ch, or the j sound. So J, SH, or CH. Those are all for the number 6. The number 7 can be the K sound or the G sound, the hard G, g, k, or the hard C. So K, hard C, or hard G. And if you notice when you say those sounds, k, g, They're all coming from the back of your tongue, the guttural sound. Number 8 is the F or the V. V. That sound represents 8. The 9 is the sound for P or B. P, B. That stands for the number 9. And the number 0 is for the Z or the S or the soft C. So Z, S, S. Those are all for the number 0. Now, I've given this introduction when I worked with my son on this concept. We spent a week just really drilling these sounds with the associated numbers. Okay, we didn't start getting into the multiplication tables yet. We just went over those sounds. Now, when you have a word, for example, dish, okay, there is a vowel sound in it, but the vowel sounds do not represent any numbers. So if I told you the word dish, you would think, what number is D and what number is sh? Because D, sh together will make the number 16. And there are pictures. So there are pictures. There is a picture of a dish in one of the examples, and that helps you remember, oh, this is dish. I'll show those to you in a second. Now, after understanding these associations, you will go into the peg word system. This is for the multiplication table. Let's say you were really struggling with the 4s. You were really struggling with your student memorizing 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6, and so on. The number 4 is represented by rye bread. Remember how I said 4 is the R sound? So when we see our pictures, anytime we see the picture of the rye bread, we know that will be 4. So rye times another number will give you the answer. I'm going to show you those in a second. Okay, stay with me, stay with me. Here's the peg word system. A tie is for the number 1. Noah is for the number 2. Ma is number 3. Rye, of course, is number 4. Law. So the number 5 is for L. And we'll have a picture of a policeman for all of these. This is law. Shoe is for the number 6. Remember, the number 6 is represented by the SH, the CH, or the J sound. Number 7 is a cow. Number 8 is IV. And number 9 is a bee. And number 0 is a snake. Oh, there's 0. I guess we don't have the number, but number 10 is toes, because you notice that the T stands for the 1, T or D is 1, and S is 0. SZ or soft C is 0. They do go all the way up. Now, my son has not done the 11s or the 12s yet. We have not jumped into that, but toes is 10, tot is 11, and tin is for 12. Now I'm going to go over to that example that I was giving about the 4s. Let's say that you're having trouble with 4 times 6. Let's say we're having trouble with rye times shoe. I'm going to go to that page. Rye times shoe. Okay. Rye times shoe is Nero, because 4 stands for rye. Shoe stands for 6. Nero has the N sound, which stands for 2, and the R sound that stands for 4. So when your student memorizes these pictures, they will associate the rye bread and the shoe bread are standing together, listening to Nero, and that will help them remember 4 times 6 is 24. They do the work in their brain. Okay, they think rye times shoe is 4 times 6. They think the word Nero, and they think the word Nero, and they are able to recall the N sound is 2, the R sound is 4. And I had mentioned dish. Dish is going to be 16. So let me see if the B and Noah, where is Noah and B? I'm going to see if that is the picture of a dish. It sure is. All right, guys, look at this. So Noah times Ivy. N for Noah is 2. Ivy. Ivy has 2 vowel sounds, I-E, but we don't count the vowel sounds. We just count the consonant sounds, the V, which is Ivy. Noah times Ivy is dish. And when you say that word dish, you're thinking D, 1, sh, 6, D, ish, dish, 16. So, okay, trust the process. If you have a visual learner, this works. I've seen it with my son. It is very complicated. Just in explaining it, I feel like I've probably lost some people because I've seen it even over my mom's head. So my mom had this book, but she never did the multiplication with us because I think it was just too out there. And she was like, it's so much easier just to make them stand in front of a mirror and memorize those multiplication tables over and over and over. But you know, you do what works for your family. And me knowing the learning style of my son and knowing that this is something that he can enjoy and that he does, it's been really helpful. Now I will give you a tip, something that I do have just as kind of a review sheet for my son is I did take pictures of the book. Now I'm not going to share these with anyone because this is just for our personal school, but I did make a little booklet for my son with all the pictures so that he can review these pictures when he is having trouble recalling some of the pictures because we're still working through this. And it's been helpful for him to be able to recall these. Another tip that we do use that's not part of this book, but we do skip counting songs, and that helps a lot with our multiplication because they're able to skip count and kind of sing that melody in their head. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll put it in the description when you can jump to this and you can jump to this part of the video as I talk about the skip counting songs. For skip counting songs, I'm going to start with 4s. We use the London Bridge theme. And we sing 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. London Bridge fell on the 4s. For the 5s, we just sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. You can easily go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5s are usually pretty easy for kids. 6s, we use the Happy Birthday tune. 6, 12, 18, 24, then 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, then 60. 7s, we use Yankee Doodle. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. That's the 7s. For the 8s, we sing Lightly Row. 8, 16, 24, 32, then 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. That's the end. And for the 9s, we are doing the song A Sailor Went to CCC. Da, 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 da. So for the 9s, it's 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. 90, that's the end. So the kids have fun with those, and that helps them with the skip counting. So thanks so much for watching this video. I will do another video to talk about the memory system for the presidents and the states and